January 7, 2014. This meeting will come to order. Welcome to the 274th reorganization meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this reorganization meeting was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board here in the Municipal Building, and on the Township website. Notice was also transmitted via fax to the Record, Suburban Trends, and Daily Record newspapers. This time I would please ask you all to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for those serving our nation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that every deliberation will result in action which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township.
Amen. Roll call. Mrs. Florence Lynch.
Here.
Mr. Cole.
Here.
Mr. Phelan.
Here.
Mr. Vanderhoff.
Here.
Ms. Winterfield.
Here.
The required quorum being present to conduct formal action. The first order of business is the selection of a member of the Township Council to serve as mayor for the current year. Is there a motion from the council?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
There being no discussion, on the motion to elect Melissa Florence Lynch as mayor to serve for the current year, the roll call. Mrs. Florence Lynch.
Yes.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Mr. Phelan.
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff.
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield.
Yes.
Congratulations. At this time, the oath will be administered to Mayor Melissa Florence Lynch, and I believe Assemblyman Romano will be administering the oath.
Before I swear in the mayor, I just want to, first of all, wish everybody a very happy New Year and all good wishes for this coming 2014. I want to congratulate Mayor Phelan, who's done such an outstanding job the last few years as the mayor. We've worked very closely together, and I can tell you that the town has been extremely well run. You have a lot to be thankful for and appreciative of your local town government here. And I was very honored to be asked to swear in our new mayor tonight, and it's a great pleasure to do so.
Yes, I'm going to actually ask my husband, Art Lynch, and my parents, Lois and George Florence, who can come up and assist. My husband can hold the Bible, and my parents can just come up and stand, because I want to thank them for all their support as well. And so he's going to do that. I just quickly wanted to say that I've worked with Scott Romano. Maybe that's like he's a great assemblyman for our District 40. I also wanted to recognize two Morris County freeholders that are here tonight. Freeholder Director Tom Strangelo, who I know very well and worked closely with him as well, and also a good friend. And John Crickis, also Morris County freeholder, is here tonight as well. So I thank you all for your support. I wish all of you could throw me in. But great. So,
Repeat after me.
I, Melissa Florence Lynch,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties of
the office of Pequannock Township Mayor
the office of Pequannock Township Mayor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you. Okay, the next order of business is the selection of a member of the Township Council to serve as deputy mayor for the current year.
I'll make a motion to nominate Kathy Winterfield as deputy mayor.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
No discussion.
Okay. If there's no discussion, the clerk, please do the roll call.
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Flores Lynch?
Yes. Okay, the oath of the office will be administered for Deputy Mayor Scott Romano. Assemblyman Scott Romano will be administering the oath.
Repeat after me. I
I, Catherine Winterfield,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of Pequannock Township Deputy Mayor
the office of Pequannock Township Deputy Mayor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you.
Jay, you do a great job, Jay.
Make it easy.
Okay, I just wanted to thank the council for appointing me mayor this year. I do look forward to working with each and every one of the council members, and the town manager, of course. I'll always do, I want all the people to know, I will always do what I feel in my heart and my mind is the right decision for each and every citizen of this town. I'll always be fair and weigh my decisions for the betterment of our community. We all deliberate, but in the end, we always make the decisions that we feel are right for our great township. So I want everybody to know that they can always reach out to me or any member of this town council. We are here to serve you, the people. So, thank you.
supporting me as deputy mayor, and congratulations, Melissa. You have my full support. I'm really excited because it'll be an exciting year for us. Yes, thank you.
Okay. The next order of business are the appointments by the Township Council. The appointments are listed on our agenda as items 7A through SS. So Mr. Delaney, would you read the list?
Yes, professional appointments, Township Attorney Robert Oostdike and the firm Murphy, McKean, PC. Bond Counsel Edward McManaman, Esquire, and the firm McManaman in Scotland. Planning Board appointments, Class 3 member, it's a member of the governing body for a 1-year term, Councilman Vanderhoff. D, Class 4 member for a 4-year term, Martin Altus. E, Class 4 member, 4-year term, Douglas Trost. F, alternate member number 2 for a 2-year term, Gerald Dreesy. Appointments to the Zoning Board of Adjustment, regular member, 4-year term, Paul Delango. Regular member, 4-year term, David Way. Alternate member number 2, 2-year term, Bruce Vitkovich. Dial-a-Ride Board of Trustees, trustee for a 1-year term, Ruth Liston. Fair Housing Committee appointments, regular member, 3-year term, Mary Ann Moss. Regular member, 3-year term, Mary Thomas. Regular member, 3-year term, Rocco Salute. Open Space Advisory Committee, Township Council Representative, 1-year term, Councilman Cole. Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee Representative, Tom Andrea. Environmental Commission rep is left vacant at this point. I know there had been discussion previously, but that item had not been, consensus had not been reached on. Historic District Commission, 1-year term, Jay Wanzik. Planning Board Representative, 1-year term, Robert Kraus. Regular member, 3-year term, Frank Spizzeri. Regular member, 3-year term, Christopher Lotito. Regular member for a corrected 3-year term, Michael Carlin. Parks and Recreation, I believe there's some additional discussion on that.
Yes, I would, yes, we're going to, so, Mayor, we would like to pull that out.
Right, I was going to wait until after you read the list, but if we could have done it up front, that's what I was going to ask. I would like to pull out separately Parks and Rec and Economic Development.
That's fine.
So can we skip over those, or?
Yeah,
and
we
we
can
come back
skip
over?
over.
Flood Control Advisory Committee, regular member, 3-year term, Roger Infeld. Regular member, 3-year term, Evelyn Justison. Regular member, 3-year term, Nick DiStefano. Regular member, 3-year term, Dara Hardacre. Regular member for an unexpired 3-year term, Todd Steinberg. Historic District Commission, regular member, 5-year term, David Wisniewski. Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, 3-year term, Gene Powers. Regular member, 3-year term, Marjorie Gay. Regular member, 3-year term, Joan Shane. Unexpired 3-year term, Carol Ann Fiorillo. Regular member, unexpired 3-year term, Lily Kamaya. Skipping Economic Development, Teen Advisory Committee, regular member, 2-year term, Denise Genovese. Regular member, 2-year term, Stacy Ann Webb. The Joint Study Commission, regular member, Councilwoman Mayor Florence Lynch. Regular member, Councilman Phelan. And appointment in the Finance Department, Chief Financial Officer for 4-year term, David Holberg.
Okay. I wanted to have some discussion on the appointments from the council members on Parks and Rec and Economic Development. I'll start by saying we had a public meeting last Thursday to discuss appointments. It was a very fast meeting. I've had time to carefully go through the applicants for the committees and thought about what each one brings to the table. And I am making a recommendation to change one of the regular members on the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee.
Before you get too far into that discussion, may I suggest that it may be appropriate for those appointments that I just listed, if the council wants to take action on those separately at this time. That may make the record a little clearer.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the appointments from 7A through, hold on, 7A through 7U, and then 7AA through 7 double K, and then 700 through 7SS.
I'll
You got that
second.
all right? Okay,
I'll second.
I just want to make sure I had the, that's right.
And that is for all of the appointments as listed with the exception of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee and the Economic Development.
Okay, Mr. Delaney, roll call?
Mr. Cole,
Yes?
Mr. Phelan,
yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes. Go back to.
Go back to Parks and Rec.
Okay. So, anyway, so on the Parks and Rec Advisory Committee, I wanted to have some discussion about that. When we sat and talked about, you know, this is one of those committees, we have a great town. We have so many volunteers. And you try to make the best decision for these committees. You have to look hard at what each person brings to the table, how they're going to advise the council. So I wanted to have some discussion on that, on these appointments. Do I make my recommendations now, or?
Well, here's the problem, in my opinion. Somebody has to come off the list, if that's what we're attempting to do here, and add somebody to the list, if that's what we're attempting to do. So the first question, I would assume, is who's coming off the list?
Right. Well, I looked at diversity and I looked at what these people bring to the table. And there was someone that had put their application in who I thought would be good on this. We had a lot of discussion around it. And in the end, we weren't going to appoint a person, but I would like to make a recommendation to do that. And I'll have some discussion around pulling off, one or two people on this list.
I think our discussion Thursday night was lengthy on this.
It was.
We came up with a good mix of people. Unfortunately, as a council person, you have to make a choice, and there are times where there's people you know and you do not pick them. And it hurts, but you do have to do what's best for the town. I thought
Right.
of all the input we got, that we did have a very good mix that we selected first.
One of the reasons I didn't originally go with the one appointment was because I felt the person was on 3 committees, too many committees. So I pulled out, I want to take the person off of one and put them on Parks and Rec. So my recommendation would be to put Alberta Oliva on Parks and Rec, but not appoint her to Economic Development. And we just have to decide which spot we're going to replace it with. Looking at all the diverse backgrounds, I would say that I'd probably pull regular member X off the list. Would be my recommendation. But
The
that's up for
members,
discussion.
the members that were selected on Thursday, 3 of the 4 members are not on any other committees in town, and I thought it was good that we did that to try to get as many people in the town involved in volunteering in different committees. So I'm happy with staying with the people that were selected, but
I mean, for the person X that you decided, I mean, that person is probably the only person in this whole town that I can say weekly visits every single park on foot. And walks our town completely. He can probably tell us more about what's in parks than we know.
The way I look at Parks and Rec, and we did have a lengthy discussion on Thursday about it, is I was liaison to Parks and Rec, and the way I look at Parks and Rec is they're an advisory committee to the council, so that when we make decisions, we make them based on what these people are, they're representing the people, and they're giving us the best suggestions on the way we should go with programs, if we cancel them, or we increase them, or we change them. And Alberta has been a person who has used many of the programs in Park and Rec. She's a member of PV Park. She goes on many of the senior trips to the different Broadway shows. She has been a bus monitor. She's run some of the programs. I think that she is very active in Parks and Rec and would be a very good asset to that committee. When I look at the diversity of the committee, I look at, are these people representing the people who are sitting in the audience right now, and will best speak and give us the best information that we need when we make a decision. And I would support your recommendation, Melissa.
I would support that recommendation also.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I've worked with Alberta Oliva before. I was happy that she was on a couple of my committees, but when I look where she'd be better served, it would be not to appoint her on economic development, but to appoint her on Parks and Rec. So that would be my recommendation as well.
So that still leaves us with,
Right, well, I guess I was hoping to do this before the meeting, but we couldn't, so I gave my recommendation where I would do the replacement, but
Rudy works hard.
I know.
X works hard.
But when I think about what does this person do on Parks and Rec, besides working hard and just visiting the parks, it's more than just visiting the parks. I mean, we have police and park rangers that do all that. We need to know about the programs. We spend a lot of money on programs for the people, and we need to know which ones are working and not working.
Well, Rudy's,
He's
he's a
gonna
member
bring
of
you
the
information on what parks we're working and what's,
Like I said, I looked through the diversification on the applications. I am open to, the first or third name as a replacement. I mean, it's a shame that we don't have enough spots for everyone. But,
Well, if we don't want to do X, I would leave a V and I would take off Y. That would be my recommendation.
we need to decide.
V has put in last year and wasn't able to have a position and has a very good resume.
Is why the first time that person has ever applied for that?
I believe so. I believe so.
I think Y is lacrosse though, right? Which is.
Yeah, we were trying to do diversity there.
Which is huge.
We were trying to do diversity there.
Well, if we go with diversity, if we go with your recommendation, we'll have 6 people involved, 6 people on Parks and Rec Advisory Board that have children in programs, and 5 that do not.
If we go with my recommendation, 6 that do and 5 that do not. So that seems fair to me. Are we okay with
Seems
that?
good to me.
I personally think we should have more people involved with, with kids in the program.
Honestly, Parks and Rec has not given us many recommendations in the last several years. So I think it's time to shake it up a little bit and see if we can get some activity out of there. I can't remember the last time Parks and Rec came to the council and spoke to us about the program.
I'm sorry to do this at such a late hour after we had met, but, this does happen from time to time. So I want to see if we can work this out. Like I said, Alberta, I have worked with her on committees. She is an asset. She will do the job. You give her a task and she'll do a job. So I don't think that's a problem. We just need to decide where.
Right, it's not a problem where who we're putting on, it's who we're taking off, that's where the problem is.
Exactly.
Well,
So-
I don't think it's fair to use that scenario that she'll do a job. Like, leave everyone that we pick to do the job.
Right, but I'm just saying, this is somebody that's been trying to get on there for 4 years, who, you give her a task and she gets it done. So I would listen to your recommendations on maybe a first-time person that would have to wait another year before they get on. Maybe somebody that applied for the first time.
Well, technically, X is applied the first time.
Correct.
Excellent one.
So is
And
mine.
that's why, you know, and I love working with him. I've worked with him before on environmental, and he just kind of wanted to do a flip, and I don't think it was enough of a reason. So that would be my recommendation. I'd like to, you know, see if we can't get a first and second motion on that. That would be my recommendation, is to
And may I just suggest that the council can either vote on these appointments individually or as a group. If there is a proposal for a name for each of those slots. Again, it's.
Would you like me to give you a name for each slot? or I-
Yeah, the problem
would make a
is,
recommendation?
right, one of the people has to come off here for us to vote as a group or as individuals. We can't go down the list.
Well, I'll make a motion, how's that?
That
Then we can
sounds-
bring it to a vote.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we replace, Y with Alberta Oliva.
I'll second it.
All right, I'd be okay with that.
And then we roll call.
Now do roll call.
Okay, this is for the Parks and Recreation appointments. Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
No.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
I'm gonna say yes. Okay,
Do we want to read the names of the public records?
Yeah, why don't we read the next?
Those
The public records
appointments
at this point.
to Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, regular member, 3-year term, Larry Syansky. Regular member, 3-year term, Tom Andrea. Regular member, 3-year term, Rudy Steinthal. Regular member, 3-year term, Alberta Oliva. And youth liaison, 1-year term, Andrew Carlin.
okay. Now, the other one we pulled out was economic development.
Can I make a recommendation on that one? There's an unexpired term that expires in 2017. Take that person and put him in the 2018 slot.
That's fine, I would do that, and I would like to leave the other spot vacant for now. Because I do not want, I don't want her on that many committees, so yes, that would be my recommendation as well. Any other discussion on that, economic development, is everybody okay with that?
Well, the one comment I'd like to make is let's make an exception if we do find somebody to go on the economic development to replace us, that we don't hold out until June.
Are we okay with that, council members? If there's vacancies on committees, and if people come forward and want to serve, and we feel like they're a good fit, are we okay with that?
I would say not on all committees, on that one,
On that one, yes, I'm referring to that one,
Okay,
since we did remove somebody.
all right, someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept 7LL and
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes.
And those appointments, regular member, 5-year term, John Dreesy. Regular member, 5-year term, David Tormina.
Okay. All right, thank you. The next order of business is the designation of township council liaisons. The proposed liaison assignments are listed on the agenda as items 8A through L. Mr. Delaney, will you read the list?
Environmental Commission, Mayor Florence Lynch. Historic District Commission, Councilwoman Winterfield. Shade Tree Commission, Councilman Vanderhoff. Fair Housing Committee, Councilman Cole. Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, Councilman Cole. Flood Control Advisory Committee, Councilwoman Florence Lynch. Senior Citizen Advisory Committee, Mayor Florence Lynch. Economic Development Commission, Mayor Florence Lynch. Teen Advisory Committee, Councilwoman Winterfield. Municipal Alliance Committee, Mayor Florence Lynch. Fire Department, Councilman Vanderhoff. First Aid Squad, Councilman Phelan.
Okay, is there any discussion on the assignments from other council members? No. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept 8A through 8L.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. Okay, the next item on our agenda is number 9, additional resolutions. Mr. Delaney, will you please read the resolutions by title?
A, designating official newspapers. B, establishing meeting dates and establishing the fee for meeting notices. C, adopting the 2014 temporary budget. D, adopting the 2014 temporary debt service budget. E, authorizing penalty and interest rates and cancellation of delinquent taxes. F, authorizing issuance of duplicate tax sale certificates. G, designating depositories for township funds. H, designating special accounts, depositories for special accounts. I, authorizing petty cash funds for township clerk, police chief, and the recreation department. J, authorizing change funds for the court administrator, collector of taxes, utility collector, and health department. K, authorizing the investment of idle funds and fund transfers. L, authorizing facsimile stamp. M, authorizing night depository. N, designating the certifying agent for public employees retirement system and police and fire retirement system. O, approving the assessment and ratifying the agreement to join the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund effective January 1. P, authorizing a professional service contract with Lewis C. May CPA and the firm Lewis C. May CPA and Associates for services as township auditor for the year 2014. Q, authorizing continuation of the Green Team Advisory Committee and appointing members to serve for the calendar year 2014.
All right, are there any comments on any of these resolutions from the council? If there's no objection from the council to approve the resolutions by consent, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept 9A through 9Q.
Second.
All right, Mr. Delaney, roll call?
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. Okay, the next item on our agenda is number 10. That's the announcement of the mayor's appointments. Mr. Delaney, you're going to go through the mayor's appointments? Or?
If you'd like me to.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Appointments to the planning board, class 1 member, that's the mayor or designee, Councilman Phelan. Class 2 member, the environmental commission, it's a 1-year term, Philip Dickinson. Appointments to the environmental commission, regular member for a 3-year term, Jeffrey Moriello. Regular member, 3-year term, Alberta Oliva. Regular member for a corrected 3-year term, Ralph DeBono. Alternate member number 1 for an unexpired 2-year term, Mary Ann Moss. And that remains a alternate member slot as vacant.
Okay.
Library Board of Trustee, the mayor or designee for a 1-year term, Mayor Florence Lynch. Trustee for a 5-year term, Jillian Henninger. Appointments to the Shade Tree Commission. Regular member for a 5-year term, Michael Tizio. And there are remaining 2 vacancies on the Shade Tree Commission at this time.
All right, the next item on our agenda is number 11. That's the announcement of the manager's appointments. Mr. Holberg, will you read the appointments?
Before I read through the list as shown, there is one change due to a very recent resignation, retirement actually. The fire subcode official, David Evangelista, has announced his retirement. Fire subcode official for 2014 will be Robert Grant. So, construction official, Robert Grant, township engineer, Joseph Golden, court administrator, Shelley Gallagher, director of public works, William Guerrera, health officer, Peter Corial, township planner, Eileen Benira and Jill Hartman, plumbing subcode official, John Kostrowski, chief of police, Brian Spring, prosecutor, Nicholas Galante, director of parks and recreation, Denise Farrow, electrical subcode official, Carmine Agostinelli, fire subcode official as changed, Robert Spring, director of Bureau of Fire Safety, Dennis Lonigan, zoning officer, Jill Hartman, director of finance, Lori Tarnagurski, and the fire department chief, Bill Sanford. The LEPC, the Local Emergency Planning Committee, and school crossing guards are listed.
Okay. The next item on our agenda would be number 12, other items.
And Mayor, there was one late item we have distributed, the pink resolution, which is authorizing a social affair permit for the first aid squad for their upcoming fundraiser.
Okay, does anyone have any questions here? You want to read through the item, or do I have a motion to accept that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, everybody's okay with that? You'll second it? Dave second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Mayor, can I make a comment?
Sure.
I would like everybody to possibly attend the First Aid Squad's annual casino night, which is on January 25th. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll see some of the people here.
I have two quick things before we go into public comment. One would be, we did have some late applications come in for some of the other committees. There are a few openings, we just couldn't get it on the agenda tonight. As a matter of fact, I see one of my girls in the audience now that I'd like to, look at the next meeting and get it on the agenda, or appointment to the Economic Development Committee, so that's something we can maybe do at the next meeting. So I want everybody to know that there's still some openings on some of the other committees. This town is great, we have so many volunteers, so if anyone's interested in Shade Tree or Environmental Commission, Economic Development, please let me know. At this time, I want to make a presentation to our former mayor, Phelan. We would like to present this to you for all your hard work. Our former mayor, Rich Phelan, has done a tremendous job. For 3 years now, he's been our mayor. He's been a great mentor. I'm going to have big shoes to fill, but he's going to be there for me. We all work as a team here, and I thank you for all your years of service.
I would like to thank the council for giving me the opportunity to serve for 3 years. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I enjoyed all 3 years. And I know Melissa will do an outstanding job, and Melissa, you know, will be standing by your side, and all of us will be standing by your side. We work as a group, we work as a team. We want the best for the town, obviously, and we try to make the best decisions. And I think everybody sees that in this town, that we really work hard to try to make it a great place to live. So, thank you, everyone.
At this point, if there's no other items for consideration, the next item on the agenda would be public comment. If anyone wishes to address the council, please wait to be recognized to come to the microphone and provide your name and address for the record. Is
Jay,
there-
come into the podium.
just raise your hand if there's anyone that has any public comment. No public comment? Okay. Okay, there being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Delaney, roll call?
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Mr. Vanderhoff?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.